We got some Bitcoin news, we got some XRP news, and we got some Ethereum news. And right now, this just in, BlackRock CEO Larry Fink says that they see value in having an Ethereum ETF. And for those that don't know, Ethereum is the not necessarily the second oldest digital asset, but it's Bitcoin, Litecoin, Namecoin, XRP, and Ethereum. So Ethereum is the fifth oldest digital asset out there. People sometimes call it the third or the fourth, but it's actually the fifth oldest digital asset. But this is very interesting coming to light, knowing that a Bitcoin spot ETF was just approved, right? My theory behind it is all the asset managers need to do is just simply remove the Bitcoin name from their paperwork that they sent out to the SEC to get the Bitcoin spot ETF approved, and just put Ethereum's name on there. Of course, they have to tweak it up a few to show some type of custodial entity that's going to help hold in custody those ETH. Now, I don't necessarily know if the SEC has a rule saying that they can't use the same custodial company, i.e. Coinbase or Gemini or other crypto exchanges, to utilize those. Like, I wonder if the SEC is going to make them switch, like BlackRock is utilizing Coinbase for Bitcoin. Now, I wonder if the SEC is going to say, well, now that you have Bitcoin being custodied with Coinbase, in order to have your ETH custody, you'd have to go to like a Gemini or something like that, just to get, just to make that level playing field. Even though they did not want to approve a Bitcoin spot ETF, I wonder if that's one of their rules, to have that type of level playing field. But it does make sense to me, because one of Congress, I forgot his name, he disclosed the amount of ETH that he just bought. So I'm wondering if he actually knows that there's going to be an Ethereum ETF. That would be amazing. Either way it goes. Moving on. So you probably heard this already, but Vanguard has been in the news, and they have been in the news a lot. This is very disappointing news, because, it's my money, your money. You're supposed to do whatever you want to do with your money. That's the whole thing for crypto. But Vanguard announced that they will not be utilizing a Bitcoin spot ETF, that it doesn't align with their financial needs and expectations. And now you have customers threatening to leave, and they have left, right? The title says Vanguard users threaten to close accounts after firm blocks spot Bitcoin ETF. Spot Bitcoin ETFs were also reported not currently available for purchase on the brokerage platforms of Citi, Merrill Lynch, Edward Jones, and UBS. Now, I actually have something that actually contradicts that, but there's certain conditions, right? But we do know that Vanguard users threaten to close accounts after firm blocks Bitcoin spot ETFs. And I'm actually, if you just hold on with me, I want to show you something towards the end. So please make sure you watch it all the way towards the end, and please make sure you hit the like and the subscribe button. That lets YouTube know to push my videos and contents out. Thank you. But yeah, this Vanguard is going to be left behind. It says here, the asset manager Vanguard's apparent decision not to allow the purchase of spot Bitcoin exchange traded funds on platform has seemingly pushed a few customers towards the exit door. And yes, it did. There were a lot of tweets and a lot of customer complaints saying that they have actually called Vanguard, and they said that they don't plan on using a Bitcoin spot ETF a part of their portfolio. So now you have customers leaving and going to Fidelity, and it's a matter of a quick 15 setup process. It's pretty neat, but I actually thought this was neat. The news article goes on by saying spot Bitcoin ETFs will not be available for purchase on the Vanguard platform, said the company in a statement to the Wall Street Journal. We also have no plans to offer Vanguard Bitcoin ETFs or other crypto related products. So this right here, this is the same thing that happened when it came to the internet boom. People did not believe in the internet. People thought the internet was a scam. People are thinking crypto is a scam, and the ones that thought the internet was a scam are no longer around. are no longer around. You see what happened. I'll give you another idea. Blockbuster and Netflix. Netflix came to Blockbuster and was like, hey, let's partner because you have this big name and we have this streaming services that we think is going to do extremely well. Blockbuster looked at them, laughed at their face, and guess what happened years later? There's only like one Blockbuster, but there's like thousands, millions, kabillions, quadrillions of Netflix services. Granted, it's high, but that's what happened, right? The name of the game is if you don't adopt, you get left behind. And I feel sorry for some of those firms that will get left behind, because at the end of the day, you have to remember the customers is what makes you, right? Without the customers, businesses won't be anything. And people tend to forget that, right? So if everybody leaves, those asset firms, now I'm not telling you to leave those asset firms, but you do what you feel will with your retirement, money, right? If you feel like that a certain asset firm is not helping your portfolio grow and it's not changing in an innovative way to keep up with the new digital technology ecosystem in the name of crypto or NFTs, then those companies will leave, and then you have to decide if that's what you want to do, right? But from what I've seen over 20 tweets so far, and all 20 tweets are saying that they left, and that's money that they've lost. So I feel bad for them. Moving on. We got some breaking news right here. It says UBS and Citi will let some customers trade Bitcoin ETFs contrary to rumors. So this is what I was talking about, how the other article said Citi and UBS won't allow customers to trade Bitcoin spot ETFs. Well, apparently there are some requirements, and it says the UBS banking giant will let some clients who desire to trade Bitcoin ETFs do so, subject to some conditions according to a person familiar with the matter. Those conditions, according to the person close to UBS who asked to not be named, include UBS cannot solicit the trades and accounts with lower risk tolerance, won't be able to buy them. So pretty much transforms to, if you have big money, if you're one of those elites, then you can most definitely trade those Bitcoin spot ETFs. If it's a lower risk, then unfortunately we can't do it. And that's pretty much, if you really think about it, with those limitations, it's better just to go to Fidelity or use the other Bitcoin, use the other asset firms. But yeah, moving on. So an analyst, I'm not really good with TA, but okay, we're going to take it for what it is. But an analyst says 3 reasons why Bitcoin is still due for further BTC price upside. And like I mentioned in my video before, when the first gold ETF was announced and approved, it was approved back in March of 2003, and since then it's been up 250%. And gold and Bitcoin is considered gold 2.0, right? So that's something very interesting. It says there BTC price daily bull flag points higher, and it shows here that as the United States spot Bitcoin exchange trade fund ETF had their first day of trading, BTC went nearly 3K and then down even more. With initially promising, Bitcoin ultimately lacked the momentum needed to beat out sell side pressure, as it needed the 50K mark for the first time since December 2021. And here's the bull flag that I was talking about. Here's another reason. It says funding rates reset as open interest simmers. Then it says do not further Bitcoin supply squeeze. So altogether, there was a total of, a total of 70. What was it? It was a large number of Bitcoin that left Coinbase and the other crypto exchanges. And Bitcoin's already short in supply. And granted, it's over the counter, but at the same time, the supply shock is going to happen because we have a Bitcoin halving coming up here in April or May of 2024 when we reach 750K blocks mined. That would reach a new milestone. We would be cutting in half from 6.25, something like that, Bitcoin to 3.21. That's very interesting because that's going to be a supply shock on that. Now, another post, and then we got some more posts. This is something that I actually think is very interesting. This is a picture of Vanguard. This is by Jack the Rippler. So shout out to Jack the Rippler. This is a picture of Vanguard. Let's take a little bit closer look. Vanguard has partnerships with all of these businesses. You see American Express. You see HSBC. You see Santander. You see SBI. You see MoneyGram. And out of all of these people, PNC, you have BlackRock, Accenture. Out of all of these banks, what do they have in common? Ripple, right? It makes sense that Vanguard is actually going to block those Bitcoin spot ETFs because Vanguard seems like they are the elites. I mean, they're the second largest next to BlackRock, right? And if you see this boat coincides with Burble Guy 123, right? The boat looks a lot alike. I mean, you can't make this up, y'all. You cannot make this up. This is the boat, Vanguard. Let me see if I can zoom in. Vanguard's boat. And then you have Burble Guys creating the boat. You know, the Ripple and SEC lawsuits coming to an end. You know, the SEC is asking Ripple to show its financial statements from 2022 to 2023 to see if there was any type of sales relating to contracts, which that's getting old. That is another way for the SEC to actually say, oh, they're defeated without actually saying they're defeated. They're just asking for more documents when the game is over, right? But here's one thing that I actually want to discuss because this is something that we really need to discuss, right? A 51% attack is real. And for those that don't know what a 51% attack is, a 51% attack is when an attack on a certain crypto blockchain by a group of miners who control more than 50% of the network, their network's mining hash rate, and they can alter the blockchain, right? Now, anytime a 51% attack happens, that actually shows the lack of security in the network that actually make people lose trust in a specific digital asset. Now, when a miner has control, a miner or a large group of entities have control over 51% of the mining hash rate, right? They can alter the block. That could cause issues. They could cause backlogs, right? Not only can they cause backlogs, but they can do something what's called a double spending. And a double spending attack, it hasn't happened in some time, but when it does happen, it causes controversies because a double spending attack is when I take a specific digital asset, right? And I pay for something or I use it for something, but then I use that same thing, that same token for a different transaction, right? That's double spending. And that is something that can cause a lot of issues. Double spending is not good. At some point, double spendings happened on the Bitcoin Cash network, which was the same as a 51% attack. A 51% attack happened on Ethereum Classic. 51% attack happened on Litecoin Cash, Bitcoin Gold. It never happened on Bitcoin, I believe, but I know Bitcoin was down twice, 2009 and 2013. But other than that, that's when it happened. So that's why. Oh, and I believe it happened on IOTA maybe 4 or 5 years ago. But that's why it's very important to know the type of blockchain that you're using and the type of power behind it, right? But this is a chart of the amount that it would cost for a 51% attack on several blockchains, right? So for Bitcoin, this would cost 2.2 million. A Litecoin, 65,494. This is for the first attack. Bitcoin Cash, 14,726. Ethereum Classic, 19,567. Caspa, 62,878. eCash, 1,073. Let me see if I can find some. But yeah, those are the major ones right now. And as each attack happens, the cost gets higher and higher. So for some of these digital assets, it would not be okay to do a 51% attack. But for some of these, I believe that that's what's going to happen to completely knock them out the ball game. But that's my take on it. Moving on, looks like the crypto ecosystem is a little down right now. We got Bitcoin at 45,858. We got Ethereum at 2,654. We got Solana at $99. It was at 105 yesterday. We got XRP at 59 cents. We got Dogecoin at 8 cents. We got Matic at 94 cents. Litecoin $74.51. Look at that. Bitcoin Cash was on a tear last night. I believe it was at 297. We got Ethereum Classic at $30.80. All right, y'all, that'll do it for me. If y'all made it this far, please make sure you hit the like and the subscribe button and click that notification bell so you'll be notified any and every time I post another video. As always, I will see you and everybody else on the next one. Peace.